Welcome to the Designated Drinker Show, the podcast that's raising the bar on craft cocktails. I am your host, Louise Solis, and with me, as always, is my very, very talented friend, the apple of my eye, the mixtress, DC Gina.
Hi, Louise. How are you?
Hi, lovely. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sitting in an empty bar. The breeze is blowing, not a guest in sight.
But it's nice and breezy, though? That's good.
Yeah, and there's
on a hot summer day?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, the air conditioner is set to 68, so it's breezy in here.
The bits are cold.
Yeah. I'm not really into the streeteries, although I appreciate the mayor for that.
There you go. Well, such is life. So I have some fun, fruity facts for you today. Are you excited?
Yes.
So, Gina, did you know that apples, peaches, and raspberries are all members of the rose family?
No.
Oh, look at that.
Cool.
I love when I got something you don't know. It doesn't happen often. And then speaking of apples, you know why they float? Because they are 25% air.
Wow.
Yeah, who knew? And then pineapple. So do you know the pineapple plant only produces a single fruit annually?
That I knew.
Do you know they kind of grow up upside down? I didn't know that. When I moved to Hawaii, I had no idea how they grew. They could have grown on a tree and I wouldn't have known.
It's like a bush.
Exactly. And then, which brings me to one of my favorites, the little strawberry. And, actually, it's not a strawberry. I mean, it's not a berry, but bananas and pineapples, speaking of, are berries. It's
really?
Because before scientists really defined what a berry was, things were being called berries. But yeah, it has to do with the softness of its flesh, and I don't know. Anyway, but I know is from my research anyway. So says the Googles. A strawberry is not a berry. And then and then this one's kind of surprised me. Cantaloupe is actually the most popular melon in the United States. I guess I don't eat cantaloupe very often. It's not my favorite melon.
I love it. So
I love your melons, though.
I feel like that's real.
And then speaking of melons, the honeydew.
Yeah.
Do you know it was considered like a sacred food by the ancient Egyptians, and actually was one of the favorite by both Pope John Paul II as well as Napoleon.
I did not know
they
that
like
either.
Their melons.
And now I feel like I'm going to have to make a drink, called the Holy Egyptian or something. I don't know yet.
There you go.
Something.
There you go. And I'm up for that one. I really do like honeydew. So anyway, speaking of a jackfruit of many trades, let's introduce today's designated drinker. You like how I pulled that together?
Yeah.
Shelly. She is an Instagram coach, a garden center mastermind, a brick and mortar marketing specialist, and the VP of her family's business, Nalls Produce. She is none other than Valerie Nalls. Welcome to the show, Valerie.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Boy, what an act to follow. I feel like I need all sorts of fun facts now. I didn't know any of those. You got me on all of them. So
that is not true. Oh, so that means I could have just been lying and everyone's like, uh-huh.
Yeah. Wow, Louise, you know it all.
Yeah, it's called the Googles.
I love that, though. Such a fun thing. Hi, Valerie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Gina.
So excited.
Just so our listeners know, Valerie and Gina are good friends. They've known each other for a bit, yeah?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, for like almost 8 years now.
I know. We were babies, pre-children.
Yeah. Yes, pre-children. That's right. Gosh, if I could just go back. No, I'm just kidding.
So a long-time family business. It's always really interesting because it's almost seems like it's funny as it's kind of how our country is built, but it's something that's kind of lost. It's lost through time almost. So tell us what it's like to be a part of a family-owned business. I don't like my family enough to do it. I'd be like, no, thank you.
It's freaking amazing and it's freaking hard. That's what it is. I've got 2 young kids and it is incredible for them to get to spend so much time with me at work and with my folks at work, and to be able to create just a really amazing family environment for my kids. And it is a blessing as I age, and as I see friends around me losing their parents, losing siblings, to be able to spend so much time with my family is amazing. But it's freaking hard too, because, right? Like you're
Absolutely.
with them 24/7, and it's this whole extra dynamic, right? Like Thanksgiving dinner, it's really easy to still be mad about that idea that got shot down a week prior, So, but the good's way better than the bad. I'm blessed with a really awesome family that we all have our own specialty and our own niche, and we have done the dance to figure out what that is and where everybody's best fit is. So that makes it so much easier. Getting there, though, that took a minute. And that's why I feel like there's not that many family businesses coming up now, because you got to get through the suck before you get to the awesome.
I think that's true with all life. I think that's great words of wisdom to share through like all life.
Right? You got to get through the suck. And once you get through the suck, you're in good shape.
But you have to start off with a good family that actually doesn't suck in order for that to happen. And I seem to like a lot of members of your family. So,
right.
And spouses. So I feel like you're in a good sitch. Sister.
Yeah, I am in a good sitch. I'm in a good place.
Tell us about the family business.
So I work with my folks at our almost 60-year-old garden center and fresh produce market right outside of DC. My dad started when he was a kid with his grandfather, who has since passed away, but they started like raising a little garden on the side of the road and selling what they were raising in their garden. And then they started going into the market in DC, which is where Gina works now. They would go over to the wholesale market and buy a couple of cases of stuff to add to what they grew. And then they'd sell out of that. So then they'd add a little bit more. And this is all the while my dad's in like elementary school, middle school, high school. And garden center stuff came a little later. And now it's we're in a good place. We're like a staple in the community here. And it's awesome.
That is awesome. So how did you find a space because it wasn't your initial plan, am I right? To go into,
Sure.
How did it end up coming about?
Right. So I worked at the shop through high school. And when it was time to go away to college, my plan always was to go away to school and to major in plant science. Like I loved the garden center aspects. Yeah, right. I love the garden center aspects here. But I really loved the laboratory. I was just like total science geek. And I thought it'd be really, really cool to get into like breeding and plant development.
Oh, interesting.
So that was my master plan. I was going to go away. But my grandfather died really suddenly, right at the end of my senior year of high school. And I kind of felt like my world was turned upside down. And I decided I would not go away to school right out of high school, that I would stay local, go to a local school and just take my prereqs, right? And then the elusive transfer would come my way. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, I started dating my now husband, and I got a car payment, and I got more and more responsibility here at the shop. And I loved it. Like I really enjoyed it. And the thought of moving away to go to school for something that wasn't doing exactly what I was doing right then, it didn't feel like the right time. It didn't feel like the right move. So
interesting.
Yeah. And then right about then the economy tanked. So there were no jobs. Yeah. Right. There were no jobs. The economy tanked here, and the business wasn't doing well. And I kind of felt a sense of empowerment to kind of get my hands dirty and really get in and work the business with my folks, because it was time to save it. It was not that I could do that single-handedly, but
sure.
The recession was rough. And I really felt like I I could help and that I wanted to help them. I wanted the company to make it through that. And that the way I did that was stay on.
That's awesome. It's amazing. I mean, it's, I mean, not that it hit the recession, of course not, but
Sure.
how life just presented itself to you. Like this was the timing of all of these things. And I'm sure it's through hindsight that you can put it together now, but it's amazing how those things just happen and how it really does alter your course.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One little change can change everything.
Absolutely. I will say this is the first, Gina, this is definitely, I think, has to be the very first episode of the Designated Drinker Show where we have a random rooster crowing in the back.
Oh, gosh, you heard it.
The best. You have to go there.
It's awesome. I know. I wish we could, if it weren't for COVID, we'd be there with her and that there'd be random cock just running around.
Okay. So I think what we're saying here is that you can take a visit and you can see all the beautiful things. But my favorite thing that lives on the farm, or it's a farm, right? Can we call it a farm? What do you call it? Just
Kind of.
a farmette.
Right? Yeah, a farmette. A farmette.
Is that a real thing?
There's a pig. What's the pig's name?
Pig's name is Penny.
I love her.
Penny the pig. She's a teacup pig. She's turning 9 this summer.
Wow.
And pre-COVID, we would have a birthday party for her, and we would get on average like 500 people to a pig's birthday party.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Right?
I don't even get 500 people to my birthday party.
500. How about 5? Five's a lot of people for me.
Exactly. So how old does a teacup piglet live? What's the life expectancy of a pig?
I'm afraid to do the Google search.
Okay.
I'm afraid, right? She's turning 9.
Yeah. I guess I think it'd be longer than a dog. I have dogs, so, but. So tell me, how did Penny come to the farm? Or to the farmette, if that's a real thing.
Right? So I got her on Craigslist. Probably like a black market for farm animals, because she probably shouldn't be out. She probably shouldn't have been on Craigslist, but I certainly found her on Craigslist, and it was love at first sight.
Aww.
And yes, she's been a spoiled, rotten little piglet ever since. So when
she set out to be a pet, though? Like your pet. It was just going to be a pet.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. How fun.
Yep. And when we got her, she was little. Like, I'm talking like loaf of bread, like little. And she lived indoors with me. They'll use a litter box. It's amazing.
I didn't know that. Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Well, I know they're very clean animals, so that makes sense.
Yep. Absolutely. We'll use a litter box. So she lived indoors with me. She would crawl up on your lap. Not make big messes. She was pretty awesome. But then she was just getting too big. She didn't want to be indoors. She wanted to go outside and explore. And so we built her a pen.
She's like, I got to be a pig, Val. I got to be a pig.
Let a pig be a pig. So now she has visitors all the time. And yes, she's very spoiled. Very spoiled.
So I've heard that pigs are smarter than most dogs. Do you find that to be true?
Oh my gosh, yes. So when she was a piglet and indoors, I did not leave her water out all the time because she would knock it over. So she would, I guess their rooting instinct. Yeah,
that makes totally
sense. Like I had to clean up water all the time. So I put her water up high, and every couple hours I'd go set her water down. She'd get a drink, right? Well, she kept going in the bathroom where I'd put her water out and scooting the metal trash can all around the floor. And this is when she was like, I don't know, 2 months old. Like, she was little. And so I'd go in and I'd be like, Penny, knock it off. It's loud. It's obnoxious. While I was in there, what do you think I did while I was in there? I set her water down. I'm in there anyway.
She trained you so well.
So quick without me even knowing it. She would just go right in, knock the trash can around when she was thirsty, and get her drink.
Yep. So smart. I have
a puppy at that point. They'd still be peeing on the floor.
Hey, now hold on. I was gonna say I have 2 lab puppies, and they are not the neatest water drinker. So I understand cleaning up water off the floor all the time. But my little black lab is super smart. And we taught her to ring the bell when she needed to go potty. So at 9 weeks, she understood the whole concept, like ring, 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 and she opened the door. But now she rings the bell for when she wants something. And I'm like, so she realizes that she gets my attention when she rings the bell. And it could be that she wants water, or she wants to eat, or she wants me to pay attention to her. I'm like, stop it. She's got me so well trained. She rings those damn bells, and she gets my attention every time. A little jerks.
That little stinker.
Yeah. So tell me about the center. Tell me about, and our listeners, what would we expect?
Okay. So we sell the garden center. It's on like 5 acres. So it's not like a little tiny corner lot. It's on like 5 acres.
Yeah.
And we're in the suburbs, certainly not rural here. It's probably 20 minutes into the city. So it's
because you're only
suburban.
like 10 minutes for me.
Yeah. Right around you wouldn't expect a 5-acre pig and chicken and lots of plants garden center there. So we've got, we sell vegetable plants and herbs and flowers, mulch and soil, trees, shrubs. So right now, one of the big draws is milkweed. If you've heard of the milkweed craze. So milkweed is what monarch butterflies lay eggs on. Oh. Monarch butterflies are the orange and black ones that were endangered or like somewhat limited, right? Like they were endangered or something, right?
Yes.
But however it was, like limited numbers. Well, it was because there wasn't a lot of this milkweed, and milkweed is the only thing that they lay eggs on.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Right. So you get milkweed, you plant it in your yard, and then you watch for it. You'll get a monarch come lay eggs, and you get these very hungry caterpillars that will mow down your milkweed, and you can watch them go through the whole life cycle process. So,
that's cool.
So all these families with kids at home, like what a fun activity, and to talk about life cycle and helping endangered species, and it's really, really cool. So that's
let me ask you this. Do those little tiny little larvae that take out that milkweed, do they also attack anything else? Is it safe to put in your rest of your garden? They just like the milkweed?
That's the only thing they'll eat. It's the only thing they'll eat. That's really why they became endangered, because the farmers they would grow naturally around the edges of fields, and it got mowed down.
Gotcha.
This is the only thing that monarchs will lay eggs on. If there's no milkweed, there's no monarchs.
Got it. So when I lived on Andrews Air Force Base, when we first moved to the DC area, there must have been a lot of milkweeds, because we had a lot of monarch butterflies in the spring, especially. I think it was a spring. We'd have I'd never seen so many butterflies in the U.S. anyway. Wow. And one actually landed on my other black lab's nose, which was one of the funniest moments of my life, because she just stood there and she went cross-eyed because she didn't know what the hell just landed on her nose. It only lasted for like a few seconds, but it was cute. So
right, just long enough for you to get your phone out and not get a picture.
Yeah, I didn't even try. I just enjoyed it. So so you also have obviously produce. How has our unfortunate space of COVID affected you?
Gosh. So we have gotten an influx of customers, both new and returning, because we're a small place. We have the doors open. We've had really pretty progressive procedures in place from early on. So we're hearing from the community that they can come and feel safe, that they can come and feel like they are supporting a small business, like they're supporting their neighbor. And it's been okay for us. We know that there's a lot of the year left, and we are very aware that it's an ever evolving situation. But we've been happy to be able to provide that for the community, a place where they can go and feel safe. And, we're so small that we can open the front door and the back door and have a cross breeze, and, it doesn't feel stuffy. It doesn't feel confined. It doesn't feel too crowded. And on the garden center side, everybody's redoing their landscape. Everybody's growing their own tomatoes and herbs. So it's actually been a very busy spring for us, and we're not grateful for the circumstances, but we are grateful that we can offer this and that we're okay.
Absolutely. And I mean, to your point, it is a service to the community, and there is no harm in that. Obviously, I mean, it's to applaud your efforts. But you were quick to act, and you were able to pivot to allow for this to grow. It's just not like it's just happened, right?
Absolutely. It's been years in the making. It's been having good lines of communication with our customers, having a good web presence from the get-go. We didn't have a big learning curve of how do we communicate with our customers digitally, because they're not in the store for us to talk to all the time. Learning how to do a Facebook Live. A lot of places, they had never done one before. So if they're trying to announce new policies or what to expect when you come and shop, they were having to not only pivot, but learn how to get that message out there to their customers. And thank goodness, it's been years in the making for us. So we already have these lines of communication with our customers, and they look for that. So it's been a long time coming.
I'm sure it's not an overnight by any means.
Sure.
With some of the recent changes, obviously the things that you've had to do as a business because of COVID, are any of those things that you think that you may have not done otherwise and actually are changing your business model at all for the positive?
We've been doing pickup orders. We've been doing curbside orders, and that was something that was never on our radar before. But we are finding that there is a level of service that we can offer doing those curbside orders that you can't in just a regular face-to-face transaction. So I feel like those curbside orders might be around for quite some time.
It's nice pampering. You're like, I don't even have to get out of my car.
Absolutely. And, if they have special requests, we're able to better take care of those special requests with a little bit of lead time on those curbside orders, instead of having to kind of address them right there when they're in the shop. So yeah, it's been okay.
So I'm going to quit hammering you with questions, Valerie. And why don't we make a cocktail, damn it, Gina?
Yes. Bring it on.
Ladies, it is cocktail time. Little stress reliever right now sounds like a plan, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Love it.
So Valerie has in her store, which when you walk in on the front entrance and on your right-hand side, there's a wall of jams, jellies, mixers, elixirs, honeys, little trinkets, ramp salt, just in case you needed that's local.
Ooh,
all kinds
good.
of wonderful delicacies and farm to the table kind of foods, pickles, okra. I mean, forget it. You could spend a fortune just on the one wall and never leave it, including echinacea and things to make you feel better if you have a cold, whatever. It's a real apothecary of Epicurious and wellness. Okay.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Well said, Gina.
Yes. Well said, Gina.
I'll just do the infomercials for Nalls Produce. So because being COVID and I haven't been able to get out there, and I apologize, I do have a jam today, and I asked all of you, not mine, all of you, to bring a jam to the show. What did you bring? Or jelly?
I brought strawberry jalapeno.
Oh, I can't wait to have it.
So a little spicy, a little sweet.
Love it. Who makes that?
Me.
And I want everybody to know that. So Valerie is so they also produce their own jams, jellies, and line. So Nalls is just go there. It's the best. All right, so we're going to use your jalapeno strawberry.
Gina's definitely the infomercial.
homemade strawberry lavender that I made. And
Ooh.
What are you going to use, Louise?
So I have my favorite. It is a red pepper jelly. I love it on cheese trays. It's really nice because it's a little sweet and a little spicy. So it seemed like it lined up with the strawberry jalapeno.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit and just kind of move you down so everyone can see my little bar. Let's get rid of 2 of these to get this out of your way. All right. So we're going to make today is a daiquiri. And I have a daiquiri glass, and you can do this drink on the rocks, in a rocks glass. You could serve this in a wine glass. Really, any kind of vessel, as long as it holds an alcoholic beverage, is okay during COVID, right?
Exactly.
So what we're going to do, the first thing that we're going to do is measure. You're going to take your jigger, or you can take a measuring cup, and you're going to pour 2 ounces of white rum or rum of some sort. And I'm using Bacardi.
How do you know when to grab a white rum or a dark rum?
Technically, in a daiquiri, you want to use some sort of rum agricole or white rum. So we're just going traditional. I mean, I love dark rums, but I like to make those into more of a tea punch drink where you're using that, bitters, and a sugar cane.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Product, like sugar cane juice or something.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna pour this into our shaker tin. Are you there, Val?
I'm here.
You good? Keep going. And we're gonna open. The next thing we're gonna do is open our. Whoops! I'm gonna knock over my drink almost. I did not. We're gonna open our jelly, and you're gonna spoon 1 ounce of your jam or jelly into, and just 1 ounce. Really measure it if you need to. Into, and that would be 2 bar spoons of the jam or jelly into your shaker tin. Don't worry if it's a little bit clumpy, it'll come out when you strain it.
Okay.
So this is our sugar. So if we were making a traditional daiquiri, you would have 2 ounces of your spirit, and you would have 1 ounce of fresh lime juice, and you would have a half an ounce to an ounce of a simple syrup or cane. Sugar or whatever you wanted to use. So we're just replacing the jam, and you can use any jam that you love for that sugar replacement. The next thing you're gonna do is take 1 whole lime, and you're gonna cut it. You're gonna cut it in half, and you basically want to have a nice smooth side. And you're gonna put it into your juicer, hand juicer, or if you don't have one at home, you could just take a fork and you could just squeeze it on the inside and over the top. And be very old school, Caesar salad Italian restaurant, 1967. And then we're gonna do that again for the other half, and that'll give you just about 1 ounce of lime juice, maybe 1.25 ounces, but that's okay because we're using something a little bit sweeter today. So prior to, so if you're gonna do your drink on ice, at this point, you're gonna add the ice to your glass, and if you're going to chill a glass, we're gonna add the ice to our glass to do that as well. So we're going to put this in the glass, leave it, and then we are going to fill up our shaker tin 3/4 of the way full of ice. Cap it. And whenever we're all there, everyone's there?
Almost. You're just a little behind you.
Sorry.
You're just the professional, that's all.
I'm just thinking all the money I'm losing for not going this fast. No, I'm just kidding. I can't help it. Ready?
Yep.
Now let's start to shake. Valerie, 2 hands.
2 hands. All right.
2 hands as hard as you can.
You're shaking my dress right off of me.
All right. If your shaker tin is nice and cold, your drink is ready. So if you see in there, you have a nice frothy cocktail. So we're going to toss this ice.
Gina, I need some help. I can't get it off.
So you're going to bang on the side that has the more room. Harder.
Oh, there we go. It's starting.
Okay. So now you're going to take your strainer top, put it on top of your drink, and you're going to strain it. Some people might have an extra little strainer at home that you can use. And if you don't, doesn't matter. Are you ready?
Ready.
Yep, I'm double straining.
So we're pouring it in.
Oh, it looks so good.
So when you have a jam or jelly and you are using a double strainer, you're gonna have it when it starts to sit on top like that. One thing you can do is literally just take something and you wanna knock it right here and it'll start to go in. Or you can put a spoon in there if you want, but that kind of pushes the seeds through. So when it comes to jams or jelly drinks like this, I just like to give it a little help by just tapping, gentle tapping motion. All right. So now we have our daiquiri, right? So you just made yourself a proper jam rum daiquiri, and you're more than welcome to garnish it with a little lime wheel if you want, or nothing at all, but I like a little complement of color. Where are we at, Val?
I'm good.
All right.
It smells delicious.
Let me get you back to where I can see everybody. Sorry. All right, cheers. Super easy. 3 ingredients, one of which is your favorite at home. You can pick whatever you want, or you can go to Nalls, and Valerie has dozens and dozens you can choose from. This one's delish.
It is delish. You know what? I love that you're surprised. It's so good. And this is one of my favorite jellies. I never thought about having it in a cocktail. And it's
Ever.
so good. So good.
Valerie, this is the first time you use a jelly in a cocktail?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we need to like do something at the at Nalls and one day and just be like, this is how you can use the jellies in a cocktail. Because I bet you people never think of it because they buy these things and they're like, what am I going to do with it once I open it? Well, you can use it in a different way. You know
I have some spicy peach jelly that is this exactly to your point. I never know other than on a cheese tray what to do with it. It would make for a delicious cocktail. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, easy for the margarita. Switch out for tequila. Just do tequila, lime, and a jelly. Just no Cointreau. When you use a jelly, it'll be way too sweet. Like it'll be just off the charts. So,
and you don't need to have a fully stocked kitchen to make this work. You know, you just need, it's like regular pantry stuff. It's not like you don't need a mixer.
No. And also, you know, one thing I have to say is like, you know, right now everyone's giving a lot of takeout, so you're getting a lot of containers. So if you just save one of those quart or pint containers you're getting, you don't have to have a shaker set. Just something that has a nice like closed lid. Snapware works really well. And you shake it up. And when you're using something like plastic to shake your cocktail, you just need to shake it a little bit longer. You know, the tins or the shaker sets really help chill the cocktail faster. The other way, it takes a little bit more elbow grease.
Oh, well, then you get like a workout. It's like double whammy. You get like a really great cocktail and a workout at the same time. And if you did like a dance, you could, yeah, exactly. If you got a little dance going, hey, Gina, I think that's our $1 million idea right there.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing for 2021. You get your own designated drinker drink set. I love it.
It's like to your point, it's like a shake weight or what is it? Shake weight, whatever.
Yeah, shake weight. You're right.
I'm just going to drink some more. So for this recipe, where are they going to go, Gina?
To designateddrinker.show.
Wait, what? Did you get that, Valerie? What'd you say, Gina?
Designateddrinker.show.
Love it.
Yes, and we're going to have all Gina's tips and tricks and how-tos on how to make this cocktail, as well as all the cocktails that we've had in every episode before this. And we'll definitely have
advice from Louise. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
And then we'll also have a link to Nalls Produce so that everyone in the area who's lucky enough to be able to take a little journey out to your place, which, like to your points, less than 20 minutes from downtown DC. Especially, I mean, where else do we have to go now? It's COVID, for fuck's sake. We can't even go anywhere. You can go see Penny the pig and see wild cocks running around.
And also buy the most beautiful plants, palm trees, you know, while you're doing all that hydrangeas. I mean, I could just go on and on. I just bought palm trees. So for suburbia, and they're stunning. And people are taking pictures with them and they're like, where did you get them? I'm like, Nalls. And they're like, what's that? So I feel like we need to tag a little, if you like what you see, you can get it at this place, because we can't even be answering any more questions at Suburbia about them. I do love when they take pictures with them though.
Oh, anyway. Which means you definitely have to have your branding there so that it's in every picture.
Yep, like a little placard or something attached to the tray.
You too can have me.
Anyways, my time.
Okay, it's your turn, Gina. It's your turn. Okay. What you got?
All right. So this is so hard, and I'm so glad that we mentioned Penny. So in this day and age, everybody identifies themselves with some sort of spirited animal, and you may identify yourself with the raccoon because it is a little bit sneaky, and they can live through anything, and they can always change their eating environment or wherever on the fly, right? If you could be one spirit ingredient, whether it be food or cocktails, what would it be and why?
Good night.
I love the fact that doing these on Zoom, we get to see everyone can see people's faces when you ask this question. It's priceless.
If you can be one spirit or cocktail, what would you be?
Like an ingredient. So it doesn't have to be like liquor. It could be anything. You could be salt. It could be whatever you want.
Well, lime juice, naturally.
Okay.
It makes everything amazing and versatile. It can go in your tequila drinks. It can go in your rum drinks. It can go in your kid stuff, right? Easy, accessible, and always not the star of the show, right? A really, really good supporting cast member. I'll take it.
That is a great identifying. I love that. That's fabulous. Best answer.
It's awesome.
The rum. Yes.
It's the rum.
Perfect. On that note, we take another sip and a cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers to that.
The Designated Drinker Show is produced by Missing Link, a podcast media company dedicated to connecting people to intelligent, engaging, and informative content. Missing Link is a proud partner of Hearing Charities of America, a nonprofit organization that supports those who are deaf or hard of hearing. To learn more about HCOA or to find out about Missing Link's other podcasts, head over to missinglink.company. That's missinglink.company.